We were supposed to have the hookup at this motel that he knew the people, and we were all supposed to get this cheap rate. And the motel was called Admiral Benbow's. Admiral Benbow, famous English admiral. And it was worse than a Motel 6.
Yikes.
Motel, like, whatever the lowest level is, Admiral Benbow got to be below that.
Okay.
And when we got there, we talking about our special rate from Larry Hamilton, and these Indian people looking at us, who? Bloody who? Lying ass Larry. Lied. Them people ain't know him. We ain't have no special rate. And even then, the rooms weren't even $50. I think it was like $30-some a room or something ridiculous, like filthy. Like, I wouldn't, nah. And then, we did the show. It was our first show. And again, like, he had a promotion, but he was a really raggedy, I hate to say ghetto, but it was ghetto. It was a ghetto-ass promotion where they didn't, like, put a card out ahead of time. It was just, they looked to see who showed up, who they got, and then they would just make matches and
all right.
people out, And at this point, we're just young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wannabe wrestlers, and our mentors, Primetime and Ram Man and Alex G, like, they knew Larry. They had wrestled for Larry. And Larry at one point had wrestled in Puerto Rico. Now, when we were coming up, Puerto Rico was still a territory that you could go to, that you had to go to if you wanted to come up. Like, most of the guys wrestling in South Florida were wrestling for that opportunity to go to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, you're a full-time wrestler. You're wrestling 4 or 5 nights a week. You're getting paid, $500-600 a week, whatever it was, depending. You had a place to stay. You were wrestling full-time. And Larry used to tell everybody he was going to get them to Puerto Rico. Larry told me, I remember, he looked me in my face and said, man, Carlos and Dutch seen them tapes of you. They can't wait to get their hands on you, brother. You ain't ready yet, but as soon as you're ready, we're going to get you there. And I'm like, really? Man, by the time I got to Puerto Rico and I met Dutch, man, I ain't never seen you before in my life, man.
Oh, come on, Larry. Dang.
Lying ass Larry. Lying. Larry lied so much. I forgot brother's name now, man. But he was like an OG when I started. But Larry told him that he got him booked in Puerto Rico. This guy grew up in Puerto Rico. His dream was to wrestle for Carlos Colon. Not WWE.
Right.
Carlos Colon, Capital Wrestling, I think. And he flies himself out there.
He booked his own trip.
Well, he thought he was booked, but he flew himself out. And he shows up, he's got his bag, he's in the locker room, and he's like wondering like why nobody's speaking to him. He doesn't know what's going on. And somebody finally asks him, why are you here? Who are you? And Invader, the one who famously stabbed Bruiser Brody to death, he was Booker. And the story that I heard was Invader says to brother, who are you and why are you in my locker room? He said, well, Larry booked me to be here. And Invader said, amigo, I am the booker. I did not book you. Larry lied to this man and told him that he had him booked. He flew all the way to Puerto Rico. Home, thinking he's going to finally wrestle in front of his hometown crowd. His whole dream's going to come true. Man, Larry should have been done with then. But somehow, Larry was left to continue his lying ways. And the business, we always say, you wrestle, you drive 500 miles for a hot dog and a handshake. We did that for real. From Miami to Jacksonville, we got paid a Pepsi, a hot dog, and $5. That's what we got paid.
From Larry?
From Larry. A Pepsi, a hot dog, and $5 was our pay at that point. But Larry was always, man, we're going to get you to Puerto Rico, brother. He sent us one time money orders for money that he owed us. I got a $15 money order with dates on the back. We going to Puerto Rico, we going to Dominican Republic, we going to the Bahamas. We got all these dates lined up. And Larry had a list too. And I used to mock him behind the boys' back and behind his back to the boys. And I would say, yeah, brother, we got y'all booked in the Bahamas. We got y'all booked the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, the 32nd, and the 33rd. Larry used to be lying, dog. So one day, we had a show that was supposed to be in some parking lot or some shit. And at the time, me and Punisher, shout out to Eric Weeder, he was one of those dudes, when he walks in a room, he looks like a wrestler. He was like 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds. Like, he looked long hair. Yeah. He looked like a pro wrestler. And because we were both jacked up, they had put us together as a tag team for a little while. I wasn't jacked like he was jacked, but I was jacked. We're driving to the show from Miami to Jacksonville. We get to Jacksonville, show's canceled.
No.
Nobody thought to call us to tell us that the show was canceled. But Larry had TV, a local access channel.
Okay.
That was
Right on.
And Larry decided that since we was coming up here anyway, we could just cut some promos so he can get some promos for TV. And I remember thinking to myself, man, that's the most rude and disrespect. Like, you ain't paying us shit anyway. And to just be so frivolous with our time. Like, and Eric was hot. You know, Eric was like, man, fuck this shit, man. You know, but, so we got to cut promos today. Good.
Oh.
I got some material.